Hello and welcome to Garter and Stitch Crochet. My name is Catherine and I'm so pleased you could be here with me today. Now, today we are going to learn how to do a slip knot. You will find that there are many different ways of doing a slip knot, and I am just going to show you how I create a slip knot. So, first of all, you need to get your wool and your hook. As I always say, when you're learning crochet, I do advise that you use a larger hook. I have an 8mm hook and thicker wool just because they make the stitches larger and it's easier. If your hook size is lower and your wool is thinner, then you're creating more intricate work, which is great, but when you're starting out and learning your stitches, thicker wool and thicker hook. Okay, let's get to it then. We will do this 3 times so that you won't need to replay the video. You can just crochet the slip knot along with me. So, first of all, we get the tail end of our wool and with our left hand we have 2 fingers. Then we place the wool, leaving a long enough tail across our 2 fingers. I'll just wait a moment for you to do that. Okay, then with our right hand, we're going to take the wool and we're just going to bring it under our 2 fingers, keeping the tail end here, we're not touching the tail. And then once you've done that, you're just going to lay it across like so. This is actually how I start to make a magic ring. So it's quite useful if you do your slip knot this way. It helps you practice for creating the magic ring. Put your thumb there just to keep hold of the cross and turn your finger over. Now we're going to get our hook and we just pop our hook under that first strand. And then we grab the hook, the wool with the hook, and we bring that underneath, twisting the hook around to a standing position to ensure we keep the wool on the hook. Then we're going to turn our fingers round, take our fingers out. This is our knot. And then gently pull the tail end of the wool, which will tighten the slip knot. Okay, and there you have your slip knot. Right, let's do that again. So we're going to have our hook, we have our wool. We are going to hold our fingers with 2 fingers out. We are then going to lay our wool, the tail end of our wool, across our fingers with the tail end facing us. Okay, I'll just give you a moment to do that. And then we're going to grab hold of our wool here, keeping this strand steady loosely with our thumb. And all we're doing is wrapping the wool around the back of our 2 fingers. And then we cross the wool, gently keeping that cross in place with our thumb. We turn our fingers over. Then we get our hook under the first strand, and then we grab our wool with the hook, gently pull it through, twist the hook just as we're pulling it through to keep the wool on the hook. Turn our fingers back round. Slide our fingers out. And with that tail end, we can just tighten that slip knot. There we go. I do advise you when you're starting out to keep things very loose. You don't want to tighten the wool too tightly around your hook, because as you crochet, you're crocheting into stitches, and if everything is very tight, it can be really hard to do what you're trying to do. So try not too loose, but you don't want things tight to the hook, otherwise you're going to struggle. Okay, let's do that once more. So we have our wool, tail end of our wool, and we have our fingers of our left hand. We're going to put the tail end of our wool with the tail coming towards us on our fingers, like so. Gently holding that in place with our thumb. Then with our right hand, we're going to bring this part of the wool, and we're just going to bring it from underneath our fingers up to here. Okay. Then we're going to make a cross. Gently keep that cross secure with our thumb and turn our fingers around. Then with our hook, we're going to put our hook under that first strand, grabbing hold of the second strand with our hook, twisting, standing our hook on facing upwards, and turning our fingers round, pulling our fingers out where we have our slip knot, pulling the tail just gently up to our hook. And then we can begin our crochet. This is a chain stitch, and I will be making a video for you to watch to learn how to make chain stitches. Okay, well, thank you so much for being with me today. I hope you were successful in creating your slip knot, and I look forward to seeing you on another one of my tutorials. Please do press like if you found this video helpful, and subscribe for other videos. Okay, see you soon. Bye.